Thank you for watching WISD TV and welcome to Know Your Schools. My name is Dale Caffey. My special guest today is Lisa Hall. Lisa is the new principal at Tennyson Middle School. And Lisa, thank you so much for joining us today. Before we talk about your new position and your first chance to be a principal, let's talk about your background a little bit with Waco ISD, because you've done a lot of things here at the district.
Yes. I've been a counselor here at Waco High, and then went to work with Donna McKethan in the CTE department and doing college and career readiness with students, and then moved into the role of PEIMS coordinator and then director over PEIMS and counseling.
Wow, so you've seen a lot of angles of the district. Tell me how all of this has prepared you, including what you've done prior to coming to Waco ISD to be principal.
I think all of these experiences have just given me a wider knowledge base of just sort of the underworkings of how schools work and districts work. It's given me an opportunity to work with every department in the entire district. So I know a lot of people. I know who to call if I have questions. So that's been great. Also, it's given me an opportunity working at Waco High, seeing where the Tennyson students would go, experiences they would encounter when they're there, so we can better prepare them for their time at Waco High. Prior to being at Waco ISD, I worked for 11 years in Valley Mills for Valley Mills ISD, and during that time is when I met Dr. Shepard for the first time. He was my principal there and then superintendent. And I was a teacher and then became a counselor. And so working with him, I consider him one of my mentors. And just a lot of the things he taught me, very much about student intervention, knowing your students. You know, we were a small school. We didn't have a big computer system. And so we were, you know, disaggregating data on yellow notepads with pencils. But we were looking at students from every angle possible. And then I had another great mentor there too, in Dr. Mowry. And we were doing RTI intervention before there even was such a thing as RTI, and collaboration. And just that professional learning community. It was an unbelievable experience. It was a gift, and I'm so excited to give that gift back.
You talk about Dr. Shepard. We're talking about Dr. Bill Shepard, who is the principal at University High School. He was the superintendent at Valley Mills, and you talked about being data-driven. He's data-driven, whether it's on a yellow legal pad or whether it's now on computers.
Right. Even back then, you know, we went through a time when we had some students who were struggling. I remember a specific incident where I was down at the elementary and the assistant principal had a really good math background, and I had an English background, and he called us as the superintendent and said, "I need you to come up here." And we went, and he said, "I have some seniors who still need to pass." And we jokingly said, "Well, we don't work for the high school anymore. We work for the elementary." And he said, "You work for the district, and this is what we need for the district." And it was actually one of the most rewarding experiences. So we each had this group of seniors, boys, and we worked with them intensively, looked at a lot of data first, prepared things that we needed to do for each student individually. All of those students ended up passing, graduating. Some of them had never even considered college. It was really neat. It was my first time too to really say, you know what, I'm not going to be against this state assessment. I'm not going to be one of the people who says, oh, we have to take these assessments and how horrible. You know what, we're going to look at these as a positive experience. We're going to see that this is how we can best benefit students, and to make sure as professionals, as teachers, that we're doing our best for students as well, and we're going to look at this as a positive.
Well, that's a good angle to have, because there is a lot of controversy about standardized testing and the STAR test these days. But as a principal, you realize that that's where we're at right now with accountability.
That's right.
And whether we like it or not, you have to turn it into a positive.
That's right. And even as a parent, I mean, I have my children are taking these tests, and you know, I'm not with them every single day. I'm not in their classrooms every single day. So as a parent, I know if my children are passing the test, that they're getting good instruction, and that they're learning, and that they're getting prepared. And so when parents send their best to us, it's our job to do that. And this is one way we can prove that to them.
I know that your experience as a counselor is going to be beneficial to you as a principal. Why don't you talk a little bit more about that? Because I know even counseling is so important when a child enters that 6th grade to get them ready for the next level.
Definitely. So probably there's several aspects to the counseling. So you have just the emotional, social aspect of students. You know, when I was at Valley Mills and talking about the collaboration, I was always a part of the leadership team, and I could always bring that piece to the table. And my principal always said, you know, you are the one person on this campus with that skill set, with that degree, with that background, with that knowledge that you received getting your master's degree, and we need that so that we can better serve students. So I know that I have that, but I also have 2 great counselors on my staff who are also going to do that. So we can look at that side of children and how that is affecting them academically. And then you have the other side where you're just transitioning and preparing them for middle school and high school. And these are huge changes for students. They go from some of them being in self-contained classrooms with 1 teacher to 7 teachers, having more freedom to walk about the school as opposed to in lines. It's a huge transition for students. And then you have your 8th graders, getting them prepared for high school. Again, it's a bigger building. There's more students, there's more choices. So what are we doing then to help prepare that and make that the easiest transition for students? So that's the counselor in me.
Right. Well, let's talk about the principal in you at Tennyson Middle. Number one, let's talk about how Tennyson differs from the other middle schools, because at Tennyson you have basically a school within a school, the Atlas Academy, which is tailored for the gifted and talented student or the identified student, and then you have the mainstream student body. But it's one school. Exactly.
You know, we probably are the most diverse middle school in Waco ISD, and we have students that range from, you know, all kinds of backgrounds, ethnicities, all kinds, but it is a blessing. It's a blessing to have this program because of what we can learn from each other, students and teachers alike. So we have students that range, but from all areas academically even. So, but we can all learn from each other how best to serve students. I mean, our goal is to have all students meeting that advanced measure, and all students alike. So it's going to be a really great year of collaboration with each other.
And the Tennyson and the Atlas students do have times when they're together on programs.
Oh, definitely. During all of their electives, they're all together. And that's a great way too for them again to learn with each other. It's more real world applicable, I think, for all students. You know, we all as adults work with all peoples from all different backgrounds, and that's just another example of how we're being able to provide for them so that they can even be even more successful at high school, college, and beyond.
How many students are you expecting this year combined with Tennyson and Atlas?
You know, they ended the year last year with 810, but we have course requests for 936 students. You know, we're not sure how many of those will come. You know, there's movement throughout the summer and things of that nature, but we're expecting to have quite a few students next year.
Is that causing you some anxiety?
Space anxiety.
Yeah, right.
Of where to fit all the bodies and make sure we have enough tables and chairs. We went to Lake Air Montessori, where we have some furniture that's being housed, and I went with my APs, and we went in and started tagging furniture to bring over so we can make sure that when school starts, we have adequate, you know, furniture and supplies and things for students and teachers. But yes, it is a little bit.
Speaking of facilities, though, you were fortunate to have some additions in the recent years, a new library for one, and 3 fantastic science labs.
Exactly.
It has to feel good for you as a principal to come in and at least see some of that new facilities.
Exactly. And you know, not even those, Dale, but this summer too, in taking a tour of the building, I just saw some things that I really wanted to bring to the attention of some other people about the aesthetics of the building. You know, research shows that the aesthetics of the building, the environment with which the teachers and the students learn does play a role. And so the district has totally gotten behind that. They have come in and done some wonderful things, some painting, and that the students, the teachers, the parents are all just going to be absolutely thrilled with. It's really going to be a great place.
I was there just a few days ago, in fact, and saw that the walls are being painted that Tennyson blue.
Yes.
And so it'll be school colorish all through the hallway, and it will have that sense of spirit.
Definitely. That's our thing. That's why I wore my Tennyson blue today, too. It's get into the spirit and create that with the students. That's so important for them to rally around each other. That we are the Tennyson Texans. I kind of like that too because I have some really cool boots I get to wear. And but at the same time, when you create that, you also create the sense of when they go off to Waco High, which is their feeder school, you know, the lion pride that's there too. So you're teaching them how to do that so when they go there, they can also be that. Even if you don't play sports or you're not in UIL, you're still a Tennyson Texan, and you rally around your classmates and you applaud them and you cheer for them.
Right. Well, congratulations again. Anything else that you want to add as we head into the new school year and your first year as principal?
Oh, I am just so excited. I've already met some great teachers who've come by to meet me, or those who've been working through the summer at the school. Lots of parents who've been coming in to register, just lots of smiles. Just great personalities. We have a wonderful team, some new people we've hired, some people I've hired to and brought with me in the leadership team. This is a team of people who are totally dedicated to helping students, and I am so excited for this opportunity, and it's been something I've waited for and I've wanted, but it needed to be at the right time, and so it's the right time and I'm excited.
Now's the right time. Lisa Hall, congratulations to you and best of luck as you enter the 2014-15 school year. Again, this is Lisa Hall. She's your new principal at Tennyson Middle School. And thank you for joining us for Know Your Schools on WISD TV.